Wombats are one of Australia's most unique and fascinating marsupials, known for their sturdy build, adorable waddle, and secret nightlife. These burrowing creatures might look like teddy bears with attitude, but their survival strategies, interactions with humans, and ability to thrive in harsh environments make them true warriors of the wild. Their journey through life is packed with interesting phases, quirky behaviors, and even some laugh-out-loud moments. Let's dive deep into their life cycle, habitats, food habits, human conflicts, the challenges of winter, and their role in the ecosystem. And of course, we'll sprinkle in some hilarious wombat moments along the way. The life cycle of a wombat. A wombat's life begins in a way quite different from most mammals. Like all marsupials, wombat babies are born incredibly tiny, blind, and undeveloped, about the size of a jelly bean. And here's the fun part. Instead of being fully prepared for the world, the little Joey must crawl into its mother's pouch immediately after birth. Now, wombats are unique in the marsupial world because their pouch faces backward. That's right. Unlike kangaroos, whose pouches open upwards, a wombat's pouch faces toward its rear. This unusual design prevents dirt from filling up the pouch when the mother is busy digging. Imagine trying to raise a baby while shoveling dirt into your own house. It wouldn't be very pleasant. The Joey stays snug and protected in the mother's pouch for several months. During this time, it grows rapidly, feeding on its mother's milk. After about 6 to 7 months, the young wombat begins to peek out of the pouch, curiously exploring the world. By the time it reaches 12 to 15 months, it fully emerges and starts developing independence. However, it still relies on its mother's guidance for survival. As it matures, the wombat continues to grow into a sturdy, muscular creature with a thick-skinned rear end. Yes, you heard that right. This hardened rump is one of its greatest survival tools, used to block burrow entrances from predators and even to crush intruders against tunnel walls. You don't mess with a wombat's behind. A wombat typically lives up to 15 years in the wild, but in captivity they can reach their late 20s. Their lives revolve around burrowing, eating, and avoiding threats, and they navigate the wild with surprising intelligence. Wombat habitats. Where do they live? Wombats prefer a variety of habitats, ranging from forests and mountainous regions to grassy plains. Key feature of any good wombat home is the ability to dig. These animals are expert burrowers, capable of constructing extensive underground tunnel networks. Some wombat burrows can be as long as 20 meters and feature multiple exits. It's basically an underground mansion if you're into dirt interiors and a cool, dark atmosphere. Their strong claws and powerful limbs allow them to dig effortlessly through even the toughest soil. On particularly hot days, wombats retreat into these burrows to stay cool. Think of them as nature's little architects, designing homes with perfect insulation and temperature control. Although they are mostly solitary creatures, some wombats don't mind sharing their burrows with others, especially during extreme weather conditions. And during rainstorms? Well, their tunnels can sometimes get flooded, leading to some funny, waddling evacuations. Wombat diet. What's on the menu? Wombats are strict herbivores, meaning they only eat plants. Their diet primarily consists of grasses, roots, bark, and leaves. They are slow eaters, taking their time to chew through tough plant materials. Their teeth never stop growing, which is a great adaptation considering they constantly grind down fibrous plants. One of the most fascinating things about their diet is their extremely efficient digestion. A wombat's metabolism is so slow that it can take up to 2 weeks to fully digest a meal. If you ever feel guilty about taking too long to finish your lunch, just remember wombats take their sweet time too. And let's not forget one of the weirdest things about wombats, their cube-shaped poop. Yes, their droppings are shaped like little cubes. Scientists believe this helps prevent the poop from rolling away, making it easier for wombats to mark their territory. Imagine finding a perfectly square pile on your doorstep, only in Australia. Human-wombat interactions, friends or foes. Humans and wombats have a complicated relationship. On one hand, people love them for their cuteness, but on the other, they can be a nuisance. One of the biggest issues with wombats is their habit of burrowing under fences, roads, and even buildings. A wombat in the wrong place can cause major damage, undermining roads, collapsing farm fences, and sometimes even digging into people's backyards. Imagine waking up to find a wombat-sized hole next to your house. Farmers often see them as pests as they can destroy crops and create obstacles for livestock. This has led to conflicts, and unfortunately, some wombats have been harmed by humans trying to protect their land. However, there are also many Australians who adore wombats and work tirelessly to protect them. Wildlife conservation groups and sanctuaries provide care for injured wombats, and road signs warn drivers about wombat crossings to prevent accidents. And yes, wombats do get into trouble with cars, often waddling across roads at night. With their tough, barrel-shaped bodies, they don't always come out on the losing end of collisions, but car strikes remain one of the biggest threats to their survival. How winter affects wombats. Winter is both a challenge and a blessing for wombats. Their thick fur provides excellent insulation, helping them stay warm during colder months. Since they live underground, their burrows act as natural shelters, protecting them from harsh weather. However, finding food in winter can be a struggle. Many plants become scarce, forcing wombats to search harder for meals. This is when they sometimes venture closer to human settlements, leading to some unexpected and amusing encounters. Imagine stepping outside one winter morning and finding a wombat casually munching on your garden plants. It's not an uncommon sight. Some wombats become more active during the day in winter since the cold reduces the risk of overheating. This means more opportunities for people to spot them in the wild. But just because they look slow and cuddly doesn't mean they'll let you approach them. Wombats are known to charge at anything that threatens them, including clueless tourists. Pros and cons of having wombats around. Wombats play an essential role in the ecosystem. Their burrowing aerates the soil, allowing plants to grow more effectively. Their poop even acts as fertilizer, enriching the ground. But they also have their downsides. They can be destructive, tunneling under properties and causing accidents. Plus, if they feel threatened, they don't hesitate to defend themselves. Wombats may look cute, but they have incredibly strong bites and can bowl over anyone who gets too close. Imagine being tackled by a wombat. It's not something you'd soon forget.